Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet. Never heard it. If you watch my previous videos, you know that I enjoy a lot of what the Bomb Squad does, their layered production, their wall of sound, but there's some things that I don't really love about them, like their squealing horns, and they tend to have like really high-pitched repetitive sounds in a lot of their songs, and that's always kept me from really digging into their sound and also digging into Public Enemies. While I did listen to the later albums like The Enemy Strikes Black and Music and Our Message and He Got Game, I never really went back to their earlier stuff, so now I am. The album starts out with Contract on the World Love Jam, and I can already tell by the intro that I'm really going to enjoy this a lot more than I did It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. The sound is still very aggressive, but not as jarring or piercing, and I'm definitely going to like this one a lot more. The first true song on the album is Brothers Are Gonna Work It Out, which is a little slower BPM than a lot of other PE songs. At first, I didn't love the guitar sample, but after hearing it a few times, I liked it a lot more. I also like the message of this song. It's not anti-anything, it's pro-community, specifically the Black community, and who doesn't love that? Next we have 911 Is a Joke. It's a solo Flavor Flav song. Flavor Flav has definitely come a long way as a rapper. It strikes the perfect balance between humor and social commentary. Next we have Incident at 66.6 FM. This is a instrumental interlude where people, I'm not sure if it was a real interview, but people call in and complain about Public Enemy or say that Public Enemy is great. Next we have Welcome to the Terror Dome. In my opinion, this is peak Public Enemy. The production on this is much tighter than a lot of the previous songs. I also noticed that on this album, it has the perfect amount of Flavor Flav. Not too much, not too little. He comes in just at the right times. When he does have a solo track, he kills it. This album really strikes a really good balance, more so than their previous albums, I think. Next we have Meet the G That Killed Me. The song begins with a woman talking about how AIDS or HIV was written about in 1969 under biological warfare. Where it was written about, I don't know. They don't really go into detail. If you watch my Criminal Minded review, you know that one of the issues I have with a lot of militant political music, whether it be hip hop or anything else, is that it really lends itself to conspiracy theories, which sometimes can be fun and sometimes can be very scary and detrimental. And I think this is one of those cases, and it feels like it just doesn't really help the cause at all. Basically, a prostitute shares a needle with a heroin user. She gets AIDS, and then she has sex with a John, and the John's condom breaks. And that's how AIDS spreads throughout the Black community. And then at the end of the song, Flavor Flav says to Terminator X, "Meet the G that killed me," which I guess that means that the person that Chuck D was talking about was actually Flavor Flav. Also, this song is 44 seconds long. Next we have Polly Want a Cracker, and the first verse is about a Black woman who wants a white man because Black men don't have any money and white men do. And she was also raped when she was 15 years old and has a child, which I feel is an unnecessary wrinkle in the story, but okay, I'll allow it, I guess. The second verse is about a Black man that wants a white woman because all Black women want is money. In the first verse, the Black woman is chasing a white man because white men have money. And in the second verse, the Black man is chasing a white woman because Black women only want money. So in both cases, the Black woman is the bad guy. In the third verse, they try to tie things together by saying don't be judgmental about who people date, but that's not really the issue in the first two verses. So the song doesn't really come together for me. Also, Chuck D's delivery is completely different than anything I've ever heard him do on any other songs. He's kind of sounding like a 70s kind of cool guy pimp, which I've never heard him do before or since. Next we have Anti-Nigger Machine, and it uses the hard ER because I believe Chuck D is using the perspective of the establishment as opposed to him using it himself. There's a lot of elements to the song. The first 30 seconds are him using the term think a lot, scratching it in different ways. And then the next minute of the song is just instrumental. And then he doesn't start rapping until the 2-minute mark. And he's basically talking about how the establishment are anti-Black. The song ends with him kind of wanting to give up and just watch a movie or something. And then they get a phone call from Big Daddy Kane. Flavor Flav picks up. He says, "Hey, you want to go see a movie?" So they go see a movie. And that leads into the next song, Burn Hollywood Burn. This song is the first post NWA solo Ice Cube verse that we ever got. I like to think that this song is why he went into movies in the first place, because 1 year later he did Boys in the Hood. The other person featured on this song is Big Daddy Kane, who a couple years later was in the movie Posse. He was in a lot of movies after that, but I wouldn't recommend any of them. On this song, he's fresh off of 2 classic albums. Unfortunately, his star would not shine quite as bright after this. I'll probably talk more about Big Daddy Kane in other episodes because there are albums of his that I haven't heard. So let's just leave it at that. This is a great song though. The next song is Power to the People, which sounds like a park jam. It sounds like Kool Herc driving up with the 2 big speakers in his back seat. There's no real rapping on this song. It's just a MC getting the people hyped about the music. Next we have Who Stole the Soul, which is a song about the persecution of a lot of black artists like Wilson Pickett or James Brown or Red Fox by the IRS. He also talks about white flight and holidays that don't represent all people, and the song is kind of all over the place, but it's still pretty great. One of my favorite lyrics is, "'Cause my tribe gets a funny vibe. Say I'm wrong for singing a song without solutions. All the dancers answer questions." Basically saying, maybe I'm making a lot of statements and I don't have a lot of answers for all these problems that are coming up, but are you really going to tell me that all these guys that are singing and dancing out here rapping about nothing, they have all the answers? At least I'm saying something. Next we have Fear of a Black Planet, which is a song about miscegenation. One of the things I do like about the song, it's a song with a clear message and he stays on topic the entire time, which isn't always the case with a Public Enemy song. The song is basically about white people's fear of having too many brown people in the world. Next we have Revolutionary Generation, which is a song about female empowerment. The song is pretty good. There are a few problematic lyrics though. It takes a man to take a stand. Understand it takes a woman to make a stronger man, as we both get strong. Basically it's saying that men get to be strong and women's job is to make men stronger. I'm sure his heart is in the right place, but this does sound a little like one of those songs that's congratulatory, you know, kind of patting himself on the back for not being as misogynistic as other guys. Especially when you think about, they had a song on their last album called She Watches Channel Zero, which chastised women for watching too much TV. The next song is a Flavor Flav solo track called Can't Do Nothing For You Man, and an album full of songs that are talking about uplifting other people and helping everybody out. This is a song that does the exact opposite. People are trying to get help from Flavor Flav and he's like, can't do nothing for you, man. This song also marks a different shift in the album where they're talking about lighter subjects and they're changing up the styles a little bit, trying to show a lighter side of Public Enemy, which I appreciate. The next song is Reggie Jacks, which is Chuck D doing a freestyle. He chooses not to use a Jamaican patois, which I think we can all thank him for. Again, this song shows a lighter side of Public Enemy. In the context of the album, it does provide a breather where you can just relax for a little bit, but on its own, I'm not sure we really need to hear this song ever again. The next song is Leave This Off Your Fucking Charts, which is an instrumental Terminator X track. I've never been a fan of their instrumental songs on their albums, but again, I believe the song is meant to give us a little breather, which it does, but it's not really great on its own. The next song is B-Side Wins Again. This is a song where the vocals aren't as front and center as they usually are on most Public Enemy songs. It sounds like his vocals are recorded kind of like over the radio, which is probably the point because the song is about people wanting to hear the B-side of the record on the radio. The A-side is usually that radio song that, you know, the normal people want to hear, but the real fans really want to hear a B-side. Next we have War on 33 1/3. This is PE back in form. I really love the screeching synthesizer that pans from left to right on this song. 33 1/3 refers to the revolution of a 12-inch record, if you don't know. But then also on this song, he says that he'd rather do it at 45, which is the revolution of a 7-inch record. And you know, PE is all about revolution. One of my favorite things on this track is that he refers to the IRS as Anglo-Taxan, which is some clever wordplay, and I can't believe no one's ever used that before. Next, we have Final Countdown of the Collision Between Us and the Damned. This is a pretty mellow instrumental track, especially by PE standards, and it's meant to be a countdown to the final song, Fight the Power, which is probably the most perfect Public Enemy song ever written. I completely understand why this is a classic. The sound of this one is much tighter than previous albums. In my opinion, this is really them hitting their stride. While I didn't completely love everything on this album, there's some songs that are undeniable, like Brother's Gonna Work It Out, 911 Is a Joke, Welcome to the Terror Dome, Burn Hollywood Burn, Can't Do Nothing For You Man, Ward 33 and the Third, and of course Fight the Power. The album kind of lost momentum at the end for me, but for the most part it's pretty great. So have you heard Fear of a Black Planet? Are you still bumping it today? Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.